Hello everyone, how's it going? In this video, we will cover the stock Cosmos Health, trading under the ticker symbol COSM. So the market has been going through a lot of volatilities as of late, with many titles with huge swings up and down. Many people are interested in Cosmos Health because the short squeeze potential, and the fact that this stock seems to be a short-term play, so time is of the essence indeed. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the stock from a technical and fundamental perspectives and to determine what would be the best action to take. If you appreciate my content, please consider to drop a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, please check out the links down in the description, as every help is greatly appreciated. Before we start today's video, I would like to state a brief disclaimer. So my opinions are about the events and what's going on should be viewed as entertainment only, and they're not to be watched as investment advice. My videos are prepared either immediately before the uploading or a few days before they were released. So sometimes by the time you see them, they're no longer reflecting what's going on the charts. Nevertheless, they should still be relevant because we're talking about the short-term price action momentums and also the recommendation over the next few weeks and months for the most part, unless stated otherwise. Also, the analysis aims to cover the securities as broadly as possible by covering the fundamentals and the technical aspects, other than the price action and the latest news events. So we're also going to cover the long-term tendencies, the shareholder composition, the fundamentals, other market behaviors, and so on, when applicable, as they might all affect your decision on if you should buy the security, how many shares you want to buy, and also at which price level you want to buy them at. With all that being said, let's begin with today's topic. So, Cosmos Health is an international healthcare group based in Chicago. They sell nutraceuticals with two product lines, Sky Premium Life and Mediterranean. It also commercializes generic medications. So the company also has a presence in the United Kingdom and on the continental Europe. Overall, they have, commercial presence through Europe, Middle East, Asia, and North America. They have an emphasis on the nutraceuticals, probably because the regulatory risks is lower. So it's worth mentioning that the management believes that the company now has a solvency issue, putting its going concern into doubts. The management has mentioned that due to the recurring losses, they might go under unless they can have more money coming in. So the money coming in either goes with capital injection from shareholders or capital injections by debt holders by issuing more debts. Of course, they can also hope that their fundamentals are going to drastically improve, which is not impossible in the pharmaceutical sector. But I mean, I would say it's either number one or number two. And personally, I feel like they're going to sell stocks instead of issuing more debts. So Cosmos fell by 8% today, trading around $4 and $4.50. The stock has been having a difficult time giving optimism to the market as of late, and for the time being, we're living in the short term. So we need to be mindful of the fact that the stock is known for its trading opportunities, but also the fact that time might be ticking. So for me, the biggest catalyst seems to be the short squeeze potentials, and for the time being, Cosmos is still a relatively, how can I put it? It's still resting at a relatively higher baseline, probably caused by the increased attention from the market, especially the retail traders, and also the fact that it remains listed on a NASDAQ because, it's around $4 and $4.50. This is definitely good news. We can safely say that we might be able to stay on a NASDAQ, which will continue to receive the interest of a larger group of people. So, the long-term price action has been plagued by the poor results, obviously, as the piling up the short orders also contributed to this downfall. So, for the period between August and November 2022, it declined by more than 83% before it eventually recovered some of these losses. So, over the past few years, it's been traded between the high 10s and low 3 digits. Obviously, if we look at the whole situation from a technical perspective, we might be tempted to say that this is a historical opportunity to buy. I believe that we're unlikely to see the stock getting back to these highs as the market at the company evolved from how they were previously. But with that being said, we should also be able to see some significant recoveries nonetheless because of the short squeezes, if they were to occur. Although the relevance for financials, in this case, are limited, they can tell us some, precious information regardless. So in terms of profitability, things are lacking a little bit. And it's obvious that things have been on the stagnating side. Both revenue and gross margins are down. The good news in all this is that they seem to have the liabilities under control. But of course, this is to be put into perspective by the fact that most of the company's operations are financed by debt. So already, equity is not, it doesn't really have that big of an impact. So the other thing to consider is that recently I've read an article saying that the company is having a decent amount of cash on hand. Well, I would have to see the financial statements to believe it, because right now the latest one that I'm seeing is Q3 of 2022. And if I'm seeing that they indeed have a lot of cash, then I wouldn't be worried too much, because this would mean that they are very liquid. They're not going to go under, and they won't have to worry about further dilutions. But the one that I'm seeing is they're having lots of accounts receivable. Hopefully they're going to receive those accounts receivable. Once that's the case, then we can safely say that, yes, they're no longer in financial distress, so on and so forth. For the time being, I would prefer to wait for the financial statements to come out. So other than that, the whole picture of the company is that it is a company on the down. Maybe things are going to go better in the future, but for the time being, the real reason why people want to buy it is because of the short squeeze. So regarding the short squeeze, I personally believe that it's likely to occur, but no matter how many stars are aligned, we should always expect that, we should always expect the unexpected. And in this specific case, we should worry that something weird might happen because the stock is in a weak position, because sometimes brokers and institutionals, they go, hand in hand. So this is why I would recommend people to use some vigilance and, to be a little bit vigilant when it comes to short squeeze plays. But nevertheless, in this case, I do believe that one, there is a real chance that this stock is going to short squeeze, and two, this volatility hasn't manifested it yet. So, more volatilities are ahead of us. Whether that's up or down, we might have to sail along with fate. But other than that, I think that it offers enough reason for us to at least take a look at this stock. So what is my overall recommendation? Well, I would recommend people to buy it, and to buy it at this point. Of course, you can smooth things out over the next couple of weeks. But I do believe that whatever volatilities there might be, if they were to happen, they're gonna occur within the next 3 to 6 months. So this is why it's better to start positioning now. I do believe that we are in a relatively low price action, and we might be able to reach $3 if there's a reason to move lower. But with that being said, I think that if you start buying now and to keep the exposure between 0.5 and 1% of your portfolio, things should be good.